This essay is about it's about giving gifts to children, especially very young children. I have three adult children and an adult granddaughter, and over the past 20 to 40 plus years, they have received loads of gifts. But recently, Jack and Owen came into my life. Um, Jack is now 6 and his brother is 4. And and this and the reason they get certain gifts from me is because of what they have asked about. Several years ago, when Jack was about 3 years of age, I was down there watching them, and while I was watching, I was teaching an art history class, and up on my monitor, my laptop, was a picture, and I don't remember the picture, but Jack toddles in as a 3-year-old and says, "What's that, Papa?" And I said, "The name of the painting." Toddled off, came back 5, 10, 15 minutes later, and says, "What's that?" I said, "That's another painting." And then it dawned on me, of all the classes that I've taught in my entire life, art history, I would teach 24/7 every day for the rest of my life. It is, I enjoy it the most. And I thought, Jack, if you want to learn art history, you can. At 3, at 6 now, he can identify at least 5 dozen paintings by name and by the artist. And Owen is a couple years behind, and he's beginning that same process. And it's fun to watch the learning process of young children. When he was 3, the first painting that he became fixated upon was Marc Chagall's Eye in the Village. Now, the Eye in the Village painting was one of my favorite ones in college, and I had it in my dorm room. I loved the painting, but Jack was, fixated is the word. He just kept on pointing. He said, "Papa, look." I said, "What do you see?" And at the top of Eye in the Village, there's a little village, 3 or 4 houses and a Russian Orthodox church. It's very small, but in the painting, the painting's this size and it's this big at the top, a little arc. And I said, "What's special about that?" He says, "The painter painted my house, and it looked exactly like the house they were living in at that time." Children love to learn. Their favorite word is why, and until you answer why to explain something to them, they'll keep on pressing. It's probably been a year ago that I gave them William Turner is my favorite painter. My favorite painting is The Fighting Timber. But I had put into the loose leaf textbook of theirs, it's just a binder that has paintings in plastic sleeves, so you can just turn the pages. And I put in one by Turner, and it is not my favorite. In fact, I don't like it at all. And it's called Hannibal Crossing the Alps. And the reason for putting that into their textbook was to have them look carefully at paintings to try to understand things more fully. And if the painting is this size, Hannibal is about this size on top of an elephant. And it took them about 5 or 6 minutes just to find Hannibal sitting on the elephant. And so while they were looking for it, I was telling them a story about Hannibal crossing the Alps, that he took 40 elephants from Africa went into Spain, went over into France, and went into northern Italy in the Alps. And I was making some comment about, it was really a difficult process to get elephants that far from Africa into Italy. Then you had to go over the Alps in the snow and the ice. And Owen is sitting there quietly listening, not saying anything. He's just processing what is being said. And for no reason whatsoever, what I was aware of, he gets up and goes over to Jack's Hot Wheel collection. The week before, I had given Jack a new Hot Wheel, and for that 1 week, that was his favorite Hot Wheel. He has millions of Hot Wheels, so other Hot Wheels have taken his favorite Hot Wheel position. But the one that I gave him, he really liked that for that week. And Owen picks it up and he returns with Jack's Hot Wheel. And I thought, Owen, this is not going to sit well with Jack. And he sits down and then he starts explaining. As a 3-year-old, having just looked at Hannibal Crossing the Alps, and says he should have used basically a car to go across the Alps than the elephant. I sat in amazement at his creative or thinking ability. He was able to understand the difficult nature of taking elephants over the Alps. And he is recommending to Hannibal, you should use cars, it would have been easier. It is absolutely fascinating to give them time or gifts or things that they have interaction with you, and then listen to their questions, and that begins again their learning process. So one thing, I'm going to like you to read the essay, and then go out and give either time or small little gifts to especially younger children, which helps them in the learning process of going down the yellow brick road of life. But at least, I'm going to say it more critically, it is more critical that you spend the time and effort doing these educational things, not so much for what they're going to learn about Marc Chagall's Eye in the Village or Turner's Hannibal Crossing the Alps. What is critical, more critical than that information about painters or fossils or whatever, what is more critical is what is happening in their brain, which you cannot see. But if they do not get that interaction between caretakers, parents, loved ones, that their brain will not develop. The neurons won't get interconnected with each other, and then they grow up in a world in which they are not fully equipped to function in. And you can't see it. You have no idea. But scientists have discovered how the brain functions, and it's an amazing process. So take a few minutes to read the essay and watch a couple of little video at the end of it about the development of the brain. But it is an exciting thing for you to sit down and talk with young children about anything they want to know. And that's great for them, and it's great for you, and it's a wonderful experience, and you'll love the experience. But 20 years from now, they are going to be able to function better in this world because of some time that caring people sat down with them in the first several years, in the first 4 or 5 years of their life, as their brain just develops and develops and develops. And by sitting down and giving them some toy or some gift or some explanation of thing, you begin their learning process, not just about Turners of Fighting Temeraire or Hannibal crossing the Alps or Marc Chagall I in the Village. But what is happening in their brain is that their brain is developing. So when they go off to college or out off into the adult world, they will be equipped. In the meantime, take care, and thanks for watching this video and reading the article, but it's a story about me and Jack and Owen. It is also potentially a story about you and those young children in your family or in your neighborhood. Take the time to help them develop their brains. In the meantime, you take care.